I'm a family physician. I went to medical school with very modest goals. I wanted to help people, save lives, and change the world. I decided that the best way that I could do this was to become a family physician and to serve on the front lines of chronic disease. I wanted to fight the battle. I wanted to help people live longer and live better. So I went to medical school. I completed my training, and I felt ready and prepared to fight this war against obesity and chronic disease. I had attended medical school. I had done 2 residencies. I had a couple extra letters after my name. And most importantly, I had knowledge. I had the knowledge that 80% of chronic diseases were preventable. And more importantly, I knew that the leading causes of death in our country and in our own community right here were due to 4 modifiable risk factors. Number 1, smoking. Number 2, physical inactivity. Number 3, poor nutrition. And number 4, which is very relevant to our community, binge drinking. So I'm ready to save the world. I'm ready to help my patients. I'm ready to help them live longer and better. I remember my first day in medical school. I remember my first patient. I thought I was going to be a different kind of doctor. I was going to teach my patients how to live longer and better. I quickly realized that patients already knew how to be healthy. They knew how and why they had to be healthy. I became like Charlie Brown's teacher, wah, wah, wah. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out that if you have a plate of green beans versus a bowl of Doritos, that you should be eating the green beans. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out that if you're overweight, you're increasing your risk of high blood pressure, of cardiovascular disease, of high cholesterol, of diabetes. So I quickly decided I needed to change course. My patients didn't need a teacher, but they weren't changing their behaviors. What could I do? I needed to become a cheerleader. That's it. They knew what they had to do, but they weren't inspired to change. So I thought of some great platitudes. My patients would come into the office, and I would say, tomorrow's a new day, try again. If first you don't succeed, try again. Nothing was working. They were trying, I was trying, but the same story. They came back into the office. They told me, hey, doc, I tried, but I love taquitos. I couldn't make this change. Okay, so we need to change course again. My cheerleading wasn't working. So I decided, okay, I need a coach. If John Wooden can win 10 NCAA championships, I can convince my patients to live better and longer. All I had to do was 4 things. They just had to quit smoking, be more active, eat healthier, and drink a little bit less. I can do this. So I read up on John Wooden. I came up with some motivational lines. Failing to plan is planning to fail. I went to Ben Franklin. An ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. This should work. My patients left the office inspired and motivated. They're ready to go. I left the office inspired and motivated. The same story. They came back. They said, doc, I tried, but I couldn't do it. And this time it was a little bit harder because they felt that they failed me, that I was such a good coach, and that they felt that they failed me. And that made me feel really bad. So teaching wasn't working. I sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher. Cheerleading wasn't working. My white coat was no match for a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader outfit. Coaching wasn't working. Clearly wasn't John Wooden or Ben Franklin. So I needed to look at something else. 3 strikes, I'm out. Well, I'm no quitter. I said I had to dig a deeper trench. I'm in war. I'm going to fight chronic diseases. I'm going to fight obesity in my community. I need to learn something new. I'm not in this war by myself. There has to be something that's out there. So I go to the books, and I discover motivational interviewing. That has to be it. It is psychological warfare. That's where we're at. It's a psychological warfare against obesity and chronic diseases. So it's in all the books. It's all the rage. It's evidence-based. I'm all about evidence. It's patient-centered. This has to work. And for doctors, it's 7 easy steps. It's only supposed to take me 5 minutes in the office. I only have 10 minutes with a patient, so 5 minutes. This is going to work. So step 1, ask open-ended questions. Ms. Jones, would you like to lose some weight? Yeah, I'd like to lose some weight. Okay, this is good. It's working. Step 2, Affirmations. Weight issues can be pretty hard, can't they? I have a hard time with my weight. Ms. Jones said she had a hard time with her weight. We were all in agreement, it's hard to lose weight. All right, step 2, I'm moving now. Step 3, listen reflectively and not judgmentally. I can do that too. I have plenty of bad behaviors. So you eat a half a gallon of ice cream at one time. I've done that too. We all have done that. Oh, I'm warming up to this. I can do this motivational interviewing. Step 4, summarize. That's easy enough. Ms. Jones, I hear that you want to lose weight, but you're concerned about some of your bad habits. That's good, I summarized it. Step 5, now this is the good one. This is the psychological part, discrepancy. What the heck is that? Okay, it has to be good. It's a long word, and there's pictures. So we get to rate how important change is for you and how confident you feel, and then we get to figure that out. So Ms. Jones, how important is it for you to lose weight? Oh, it is important. I don't want to take insulin. I don't want to go on medicines. I need to lose weight. I'd say an 8. Well, how confident are you going to lose that weight? Ooh, I'm a 2. I really like my snacks. I really like ice cream. Okay, so what can we do to address that discrepancy? Okay, we're going now. We're at 5 steps. This is a 7-step process. I'm ready to go. Advice. That's the next step. I was born to give advice. I'm a doctor. That's all I do is give advice. The coolest thing about motivational interviewing is the patient has to come up with their own advice, so I really don't even have to work. Ms. Jones, what do you think you can do to lose weight? Well, I think I can clear my cupboards out. Oh, that's a good idea. Why don't you clear your cupboards out and then maybe add some unhealthy snacks just in case you get hungry. And then finally, action plan. This is awesome. My patients are going to have a plan. What did John Wooden said? Failing to plan is like planning to fail. Here we go. So I can either refer you to the dietitian. You can check out a group like Weight Watchers. What do you think works best for you? Oh, I'll try the Weight Watchers. I'd like that group. Well, when you come back to me in 1 month, how much weight would you like to have lost? Oh, like 3 or 4 pounds. Okay, that's good. So my patients are now here. They have the knowledge. I've inspired them a little. They have the intent. They have the motivation. And they have an action plan. What happened? Came back again. Same story. It didn't work, doc. In all those instances, whether I was teaching, coaching, cheerleading, or motivational interviewing, as well-intended as my patients were, as motivated as they were, as inspired as they were unable to make long-term sustainable changes in their lifestyle. They couldn't do it. So after 10 years of serving on the front lines in this battle against chronic disease, I realized I was losing this war. I'd done everything. I looked into all my bags of tricks. Something had to change. I had to change course drastically. And so I realized that I had to take a step back and look at why. Why were my patients becoming fatter and sadder and weaker? Why was I ordering more tests, prescribing more medications, and spending more money? Why were they not living longer or better? And when I realized that we had to do, and what I had to do was to leave the practice of medicine. I had to stop treating individual patients and begin treating the environment. I realized if I didn't change the world in which my patients lived in, that they couldn't change themselves. Every time a patient left my office, I felt like I was pushing them out of the airplane, 20,000 feet high, without a parachute, and they were dropping into a ball of fire. And the saddest part is when I realized that even if I gave them the best parachute, if I gave them my best motivational speech and the best action plan, they were still jumping into a ball of fire. The world that we have created is a ball of fire. If you looked at Marge's pictures up there, what did you see at our gas station? It was an advertising for Coca-Cola, for peanuts, for high-fat, high-sugar, high-salt-laden products that they're trying to make Marge eat, even though she's trying to eat a very healthy diet. We have an environment that surrounds us where unhealthy choices are the easiest and the cheapest choices that are in front of us. So how are you expecting to change your life when everything that you do, everything that you see, is telling you to eat poorly, to smoke, to not move, to drink more? That's when I realized what we had to change. What I needed to do, again, to make my patients live longer and better was to create a blue zone in my community. I needed to inspire people to start seeing the right outlook, to start having the ability to move naturally, to eat wisely. What was that fourth one? Anyone? Right outlook. Connect. Connect. Think of our lives, how we are right now. We wake up in the morning, many of us without purpose, just hit the snooze button, hoping that we really don't have to wake up because we probably didn't sleep and restore ourselves. We get into a car and drive to work amongst a million other commuters who are all very, very stressed out. We skip breakfast because we're late for work. We get to work, we sit in front of a screen, and then when we drive home, we might smoke a cigarette because we're not allowed to smoke cigarettes elsewhere. And then once we get home, what do? We just want to zone out. We probably eat another bunch of processed, unhealthy, sugar-laden, fat-laden, salt-laden foods. We sit down in front of the TV. We probably drink a couple of beers, or we probably drink a little too much wine, and then we pass out. And what I challenge you today is to take home that card and to look at what it means to become a blue zone and how you can start. And it really does start with that purpose on you getting out on that day. And I wish you good luck in that journey. I'd like to invite you in our journey to become the next blue zone as we embark on this next Vitality City. So thank you.